Hey there, everybody. Oh my goodness. We are in a crafty bunch of the crafty bunch, and it's an event today, and it's crafter's choice there. I get all the stuff in there. I'm going to get it all in. Look, I got my new jewelry. They want me to wear a little heart monitor for a month, so it just sticks on your skin. It's just, you know, not exactly anything I'm thrilled to have. Oh my gosh, my clothes are all wacky. I don't like that. Okay, you guys. So Lisa was on just before me, and she went off before she was supposed to. So that's okay. You know, things like that happen. You get caught up in the moment, and then you forget what time you were supposed to be off. So you know that's okay. We'll carry on. So I think let me see if Mama P has shared me over there yet. So I let my people know that I would be on at 1:30. So we got a little bit of time. But yeah, come on in and let me know what you've been up to. I don't think Cheryl has shared me in yet. Let me see. Oh, and I need to make sure that I can see my comments too. How are you guys doing today? Did you have a great holiday weekend? I hope you had a wonderful weekend. It's always, it's always nice to be able to have time with your families or, your friends. We didn't have any big things going on. My husband had to work yesterday, so nothing, super, spectacular. So, that was what we did yesterday. Pretty much just hung out, our little family. So, okay, let me send Cheryl, let me let them know I put myself in. Hey there! So that they know where I am. But okay, there's Diane and Sue. Welcome, you guys. It's not going to be quite time for us to start, and I hate to, start. But yeah, tell me what you've been doing. Did you go somewhere for Christmas? Christmas? Oh my gosh! Easter. Did you go somewhere for Easter? Did you stay home? Thanks, Debbie. Yeah, let me know what you did for your day yesterday. We're just gonna kind of bide our time. We'll fill in some spots a time. Oh my goodness, am I gonna be able to talk? I was ready, so there you have it. There's that, right? Let me go ahead and send myself into another couple of places here as long as we're waiting. Hi Sheila, how are you? Thanks, Cheryl. I think I'm probably in there twice now. I shared myself in. So there's that. I'm just gonna put myself in another couple of places. See if we can't boost up some friends coming on in, right? Hi Carol. Oh, Sheila. She's a new watcher. You're watching, Lisa. Saw you pop up. Yeah. Yeah, I was we got some friends coming in now. I always hate to say that, but yeah, I wasn't really scheduled for going on quite yet. So we'll give some of our friends a moment to pop in. Okay, Diane says she went to church, dinner, and watched a program. What'd you watch? What was worthy of binge watching? Now, I tell you, sometimes if you are behind the if you find a show and it's got several seasons and maybe you never even heard of it, it's kind of fun to do that, and it's kind of hard not to sometimes, right? Yeah, that's kind of how that goes. But today we are going to we're going to do a fun way to make a little junk journal. And it's easy, it's going to be fairly fast, and it's a great way to use some of those single-sided pattern papers, which a lot of times, you don't really know what you want to use the single-sided papers for. Sue said she had dinner at her sister's house and with her daughter. Ooh, a smoked chicken and potatoes. Did you guys do that like outside? Did they do that at the house, or did they buy that? That would be fun. The Blacklist. Oh my goodness. Yes, I watched that. I watched from the beginning to the end of that. Your hubsters liked it, so you're watching the entire series. Well, now you don't have to wait from, week to week. You can just binge watch some of that, right? So let's see. Tell me where some of you guys are watching from at this point. I'm here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and it's a lovely day. It is really pretty out, and I think we're just supposed to, I'm trying to figure out where to put my coffee. I think we're supposed to really have some nice weather. That seems dangerous there. Maybe I'll just set it over here. That seems like a safer spot. Hey Heidi, how are you doing? We're kind of biding our time for a minute. Northeastern Ohio. Okay. Did you guys get some of that wintry weather? I've got family that still lives up around Denver, and they had snow here recently. But you know, that can happen. Some of those places you can get snow. I remember as a teenager, we had snow one time in I want to say it was either June or July. And it was just so weird. The bad thing is when you get snow and your leaves are already out on trees and stuff, it's so hard on them because a lot of times those snows at that time of year are very, very heavy, wet and super heavy. So, you know, it really can cause a lot of damage. Sheila says she's in Central Washington. Debbie's in mid-Missouri. You guys having some great weather or not? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I think, you know, some of our people will be able to jump in here, and we'll talk about what is going on, but I don't want to keep you any longer. Let's go ahead and get started. So I told you that today we're going to work on an easy journal, and I'm calling it a never-ending journal, and it's going to be perfect for using some of those single-sided papers, okay? So let's pull some out here, and we'll talk about things to choose for doing this. So I've got a pad of paper here that it's been a fun pad of paper, and it was kind of geared more like a boys thing, and that was kind of why I picked it up. It seemed like it would lend itself well to using for, you know, boys scrapbook pages or something. And I'll turn it this way so you can see. And so, you know, there's pages that are kind of an all over thing. I would call this like a solid piece right here. This has, you know, a little bit of design. Here is an all over print, and some of these are good because we don't need, you know, sometimes you want an all over print that goes both ways depending on how you're going to use it. So this has got some fun things. There's 2 pieces of each one on here. And I would say that usually, now this is a little bit heavier. Sometimes I think the single-sided papers, I have no idea why, but I think they are a little bit less sturdy, right, than others. Hi Alex, how are you? Wendy? Thanks you guys for popping in. So, you know, just all kinds of little fun things here that we can use. And then once you get back here farther, now this would be fun. You could use a piece like this and cut these into strips if you wanted to use somehow for like borders or whatever kind of decorative needs that you had for something. And then we've also got some cut aparts here. And so I'm going to pull this out while I see where it is, because this will be handy. We'll be able to use it. We're going to put that to use as well. And so I'm just going to pick out some papers, and I'm just going to show you. Here's another one that could be fun for using to cut apart the strips. Oh, here's another good one that we could use. It's a great one. And you can use this. That makes easy decorating of your book, right? Hey, Christy, how are you? Thanks for popping in. So let's pick out. Now, you could do any number of papers that you want on this. They need to be done by 3s. Remember that you want to pick them in a thing of 3 is what I'm thinking here. So we're going to go ahead and pull some of these out. And now some of these had a coating on them. I don't really know that I want to use those. So I'm going to show you how we're going to do this, and we might just do kind of a what do I want to say, like a shortened version of this. to make sure that we can kind of get through it, right? I don't know that I want to use that yellow one. Oh, maybe. It's kind of fun. Look at that. That's kind of fun. I might use this for what we're going to use for a cover. That would be kind of fun. I think there was another page like that. That's kind of got a coating on it. I could use, since there's 2 pages like that, I could use that for the front and the back. Although, you know, this would be kind of fun on a cover too. And you don't have to do the front and the back cover the same. You just don't have to. So let's see about that. Yeah, so this was that one, and it does have that coating on it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Here is this other one. Let me take a look at that. Yeah, it's got some coating on it too. Okay, let me see how many I've got here, because I want to make sure I've got enough. That's not even from that pack. I'm like, that's thin. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have enough pieces yet. There's 4. We got to pull out another couple of pieces. I don't really think I want those coatings. I don't know that I want that. Let's go ahead. We do have one piece of this yellowish color in here. Let's grab that one out. And let's do one of these. That's a more neutral color. Let's see if that'll work. Let me set this over to the side. Oh my goodness. Hang on. Layla? You guys, they've got the refrigerator not closed in there. I'm going to have to go turn it off or shut it. What is with people? Hang on. I'm sorry. Okay, we can't have that, right? Can't have your refrigerator hanging open. That won't be good. Okay, so now we've got some papers selected. Hey, Cindy. Hi, Carol. Jeanette, I don't think I saw. Cheryl said she used to live on Route 66. That's cool. Okay, let's go ahead and we're going to need to trim off some of these. And you know, I should have probably already done this, but you know what? When you're really not sure what you're going to use, how are you going to do that, right? I'm going to stick those there. And this will only take us a second anyway. Hey, Martha, how are you doing? Okay. We'll just grab these off of here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut each sheet down. We're going to make it easy and make the size of our little journal. We're going to make it, now, and don't throw those away because there's bits of, now there's a hole in it, but there's, you know, plenty of little bits there that you could use for something. So don't get rid of those. That feels really weird on my blade. This part that's got, it's shiny. Let me see if I can show you. See, look at that. I can feel when my blade goes over it. It feels really weird. And it makes a weird noise. Okay. So, have any of you done one of these that's kind of called a never-ending journal? You guys, I don't even remember who I saw ever do this. And if I did, I would certainly let you know. I just don't even know. But you know, all of us can, no matter what we do. Now I might use that for a cover. Did I at least get 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we got 6. Okay, so let's set these to the side and let's cut these off. We want them 6 inches high. So if we've got them 6 inches high, or I'm sorry, we want them 9 inches high. And I'm going to measure the bottom part so I get this pretty part into the book, okay? So I'm going to do at 9 inches over here. Whoops. Boy, it just kind of got away from me. Okay, so 9 inches. And now, again, save all of those because we want those. And see, they're all white on the back. So this is going to be a great way to do it. And this is going to be, you could, when I show you how to do this, you'll be able to, you know, just put however many pages you want in it. Let's see, we don't have to, which way did that go? This folds best that way, so I'm going to cut it this way. You know me, I'm always telling you about the way to make sure your paper is going to fold the best direction, because paper has a grain, and when you cut it that way, you're going to have less chance of that paper like cracking and making those little ugly places. Let's see. I think I want to leave this part. And look at your papers when you get ready to, oh, this is kind of weird. That kind of did a number on it, but you know, it's okay. You know, I like to always, I think, hi Lydia, I always kind of feel like I show you a lot of ways to construct things and not always so many great ideas for, you know, for decorating. But I tell you what, we have got so many people in the Crafty Bunch. And oh, by the way, if you're not watching in the Crafty Bunch, I would really urge you to pop off here real quick while I'm just cutting papers and go over to the Crafty Bunch menu, and it's linked up there in the description. Go over there so you can watch over there. I don't really like this one with the rest of what we've got going on. Let's find something else for that. What do you do with the pad? Where did I put it? Oh, it fell down. I'm not really digging that one. Let's look at something else here. Let's do this one. Let's just do this one. Oh, look at that. That tore right off from that. Oh, that's funny. No wonder that one has an odd place on it. I didn't even notice that. So I guess I didn't even have to cut those strips off. Okay, so let's see if we've got 6. Again, you guys are probably thinking, how could she count this many times and not know? Hi, Teresa. Hi, Deborah. Oh, good. Thanks for popping over there, you guys. And then when you watch in the Crafty Bunch, all you have to do is just refresh your browser between people. Okay, now we're just going to fold these in half. And I probably should have scored them, but I'm just going to do this. And I am going to use a bone folder so that they're nice and crispy. You like them crispy, right? Cheryl, I was going to, you talking about Route 66 made me think. One time my youngest daughter took her son and they were gonna go on a they were taking a trip, and part of what she wanted to do was travel along Route 66. And she said she got to this one area and she goes, you couldn't even see where the road was. And she told me they didn't even finish it. And I go, oh no, they finished it. I go, well, that was the big deal. I go, it was such a long way, and I can't even remember exactly where it started. But I mean, it was like one of the longest sections of highway up to that point. You need lessons in construction of journals. Well, okay then. Well, this is going to be a different one. So yeah, I like to make sure that we can have all kinds of ideas for different little fun ways to make journals, and then you guys can, you know, like I said, we've got so many people who do such awesome jobs of doing all kinds of decorating. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I got to think about this. So you're going to take like 3 of these. And you're going to kind of make this, you're going to put the center one with its valley facing, you want, okay, you're going to have this one here, and it's going to go this direction. And we're going to slide this one into here. And then we're going to take the other one and not upside down. Well, make sure it's right side up, right? And then it's going to go this way, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue those down like that. So do you see how that goes? The one is down here. So basically we're kind of making this W out of these, like this, right? You got it? Hey, Maritza. Hey, Lydia. Anybody else pop on? Let's see. Roberta, how are you? Michelle is here. Celeste, how are you doing? Teresa? Oh, I can't remember who all I said hello to already. I like to let everybody know that we're here. And I am streaming this on YouTube as well. So, you know, if you get a chance and if you want to, you know, pop over there sometime, my YouTube channel is the same as my Facebook. They're both My Artful Adventures. And when you say My Artful Adventures, I want you to be talking about yourself. Everybody has their own artful adventures, right? Not just one person. So they're not mine. I want you to have your own adventures. I'm going to use this because this is Fabri-Tac, and I'm going to use this. It's not just for fabric, but I'm going to use it. I'm just going to put a little bit on here because it'll give me a little wiggle room. It'll give me, these pages are big enough that if I use my regular glue, it will dry too quick, I think. I think this will actually give me just a teensy bit of time more. And this is actually a good project. Why don't those match? This is actually a good project to use if you wanted to do glue stick. I might have to trim that part off at the bottom, but I'm not going to do it now. So you don't very often hear me say anything about suggesting glue stick, but that would also give you a little bit of time to wiggle it around. And these are kind of big, and you do want to try to get them, you know, as straight as you can. Okay. So I'm going to put this one here and just line that up. Yeah, that one got a little bit big. I don't know how that happened. Line it up. Yeah, that's super straight up there. Make sure it'll still give a nice fold while it's a little bit damp. And you can see as you do that, it's almost like you're making like this tiny, tiny little bit in there, right? And it needs that to be able to fold. Did you know when you make something like this, do you know how to even figure how much you need? You guys, you need at least the depth of your paper. Like, you know, my paper is this thick, and so that, and you can see it does it by itself naturally. It made itself that much because that's how much it needed, right? Okay, so now, and you could even do this by 3s if you wanted to, but again, we would be putting, we'll make our W again. So this one goes like this, and then this one goes like this. So each time you're making your little W, each time, each one that you set in there. Look, that's kind of pretty together. So we're just going to keep on here and put it together like this. Aren't they? Oh, Celeste, I love making almost any kind. And if it's paper, I love it. And Lisa was on here and she was telling, I probably gave people, we had to fill out a form. I tell you, people probably can't figure out what in the world I like. Well, I like it all. You guys, I like everything from, you know, impressionism like Monet to wild stuff like Picasso, geometric stuff, you know, from boho to, you know, whatever. But I want it to have color. I love little things, you know, maybe even like a little bit of a country look. You just, you know, I want it all. I love it all. It's pretty. You know, if it's visually appealing, I love it. Okay. So there we go. There that is. So that's the inside of our V. And again, we're just gonna keep putting these on here. So I hope that make sure it has room there. I tell you, the one thing I don't like about these, sometimes they get a little hard to you know, squeeze out. What's your favorite glue, you guys? A lot of people use art glitter glue. I would say that reptile glue that I use is probably somewhat similar. Whatever you use for paper crafting, you guys, make sure that it is acid free. I mean, I don't care what you use for it. Make sure it's acid free. Now I'm just going to bump that up there, and it doesn't matter if you've got, if this part bothers you, put a little ink on it, right? Oh my God, hi Callie. Oh yeah, Lydia, I kind of agree, but I mean, I think I actually wouldn't even mind some of that, I suppose. Okay. You know what? I don't even think this matters which way now I did 6 pieces because I said we needed to do it by 3s, but now that I'm looking at that, I'm not even sure that was true. Yep, I don't know. Maybe not. I might have to put another one on here when I'm done if I don't like the way that the front and back cover are going to go on. I don't know. We'll see. How many of you are like that? You think you've got it figured out, and then in the end it's like, oh, I don't know. Callie, I just put it in there. I just did that practically before I went live, so it should be in there now. Thank you. Okay, so I guess if this is about the easiest way is to just stack them up as you go, right? Okay, you know, I do think I need one. I think I'd rather have one more. But now we've got this going on here. Let me think a second. Okay. I think it doesn't really matter. We're still going to have to cover the inside. No matter which way we do it, we still have one piece we're going to have to put something on, right? You know what? Let's go ahead and cut one more. And maybe we'll just use this one for that. Paper trimmer, there it is. Gotta watch the time. But clean it. Now you want to make one. Lydia. Okay. So I'm gonna do 9 inches. And now this time I'm going to cut it in half. So basically our pages are 6 by 9. So I'm just going to do this. You know, that now that I look at it, it has a little bit more of a green color than I first thought that it did. So this time I'm going to put this in here. Now you guys, I tell you what, if you wanted to be done with this at this point, once you put this part in, you could do that. If you want to do a different cover, which was what I was planning to do, you can do that too. And we've got time, so we'll go ahead and we'll work on a little cover. How about that? Okay. Am I using cardstock or scrapbook paper? This is one of those paper pads like you pick up, the scrapbook paper. And that's what that's all this is. Okay. So yeah, I would always say make sure that you know, fold it over so that you know that it's going to close. Let's do this one. Okay, when I get done with this and I show you this part before we do even the covers, this is so cool, you guys. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't take much to impress me. It's just fun. Just fun, just fun. Okay, so let's put this one in. Now this is sticking out a tiny bit, but when we make our cover, if you weren't going to make a cover, you would for sure need to trim this part off that's going to stick out, right? Well, that one really didn't stick out far. Okay, now watch this. Watch me, watch me. Okay, so this one is good. So you would, now it's loose down here, but you would pull it open like this, like this. Here's your book coming together, coming like this. And then it's still going to go like this. You flip it over and it just keeps going, right? Never ending. Look at that. Isn't that fun? This size of the pages, Tracy, these are 6 by 9. And so we cut scrapbook paper. We cut a piece of 12 by 12 and we cut it down to 9 inches, left it at 6, folded it at 6. Okay? No. What am I saying? It's 9 inches high on a 12 by 12 and we folded it at 6. Whew. Talking can be hard, right? Okay, let's make a fun little cover, right? Isn't that fun? You just received, Lydia says she just received a, what did I use to make it? Scrapbook paper, Tracy. Is that what you mean? I hope so. You know, sometimes we get to typing up stuff and sometimes we lose. Okay, you guys, it doesn't come out exactly like we planned, right? Now, you guys, I don't even eat cereal, but you know what? I have had, oh, hang on just a second. Let me put my watch on something here. Oh my goodness. So it's not dinging. Okay. Or showing up. So always, you know, save some of these things. These larger boxes. I don't even eat cereal like this. I don't even know who did. You know, I tell you, the amount of cereal or milk in our house is practically nothing. I mean, we'll buy a half gallon of milk and it'll sit there until it's not any good. I never saw any people use as little milk as we do at this house. So, but you know, if you've got people who are big cereal eaters, you know, that's a lot. You go through a lot of milk if you've got cereal eaters, right? You guys, is this gonna be, how tall is this? Wouldn't that be cool if I didn't even have to, I don't think it's quite tall enough. You guys, that's almost what I was gonna cut it at. There might be places that are a little, wow. Wow! That is pretty cool. Huh. Okay, let's see. Let's check this out. But yeah, I mean, these things are a nice weight just for a little bit of, you know, something extra to put down. It'll give us a little bit more of a thicker cover, a little bit more substantial, right? So, always when you do something like this, you got to kind of start by trimming off some of your areas. I don't know. Well, I can't do it that way. That's too long. So you got to make sure you're getting one edge that's straight. And since none of that is straight up there, that's going to be a little bit tricky. But we'll just go over that several times. Make sure it cuts off. And there we go. Now this one, boy, I just barely can fit that in there. But I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. We'll straighten that up. Maybe let me see if I can straighten. If I get this in the groove here and know where it was supposed to cut, I think I can trim the rest of that off. There. Yeah, that's not bad. And then, well, we need to trim this part off. So I'm trying to cut as little as possible off of here. You know what? I need to do this side because I know that side's straight. You gotta get it straight. So that's the thing. When you start doing these things and you get one side, you got to remember which side that you've got straightened out so that you can use those straight sides. Oh, I'm so gruff. So you can use the straight sides to square it up, right? I can use some scissors right here. I'm gonna put a little paper over it anyway, so. Whew. Cutting. Save it all. Yeah, right? Need to save a box of Cheerios, even the inside bag. Yep, there you go. Okay, so now let's cut this one. Let's see, what did it leave us with? Did it leave us over a little over 9 inches? Yeah, it did. Oh, that's great. A tiny bit over 9 1/4, and I'm gonna go with it. So now I'm gonna cut it. So our thing is 6, so I'm gonna do about 6, and I don't know. If we just have a tiny bit around the edge, that'll be okay. So if you add like a 1/4 inch, it'll give you like 1/8 of an inch around, and then it won't be, you know, flapping around everywhere. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll just do 6 1/4. There we go. There's one. You guys, I've been saving these, and I went over there and I'm like, oh, I wonder if I have one I could use. And I saw this great big old box. I'm like, woohoo! Feels like you won something, right? When you've got a piece of something you saved and it's gonna work for you. How many of you feel like that? Like you won the lottery. It's like, woohoo! I got a piece of junky cardboard. Okay, so now we just gotta decide which one of we gotta cut these now. This would be kind of cool. I like that one. And what else? I thought I had another one I decided would be fun. Now I don't remember. You know, there's so much paper that you're like, it all would be fun. I don't know. This would be kind of a fun thing for a cover. You know, let's use that. And then we can use this like for the back. Because I kind of like those. I wish there would be enough of this to do both. But, you know, you've only got 6. Now, if we were doing 5x7, have you guys seen my trick for getting 4 pieces of 5x7 out of a single piece of 12x12? You guys know how to do that? It's a fabulous trick. It is just magnificent. You know, let me think about this. I might... You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull this all the way up here and have some of this at the very top. So, you know, even when you've got pieces like this that have, and okay, so we're going to do it about 6 1/4 wide. That might be a little bit more than that, but that's okay. And then about 9 1/4 this way. So I want to keep that part. So I'm going to go down here, and I might do just a tiny bit more. I might have to trim it off. Who knows? But I'd rather have a little bit. Well, shoot. Let me take one of them and find out, right? Tracy, you're on YouTube? You watch on YouTube? On YouTube, my channel is the same as on here. It is called... Oh, what happened? Oh, no. Well, did I mismeasure this one? No. What did I cut this at, you guys? I cut it at wrong is what I cut it at. Shoot. Okay. Well, remember what I said. There's 2 of those pages. Where's the pad? Oh, my goodness. That makes me sad. But save the scraps because you can use it inside. Where's the whole pad of paper? Oh, I have it standing up. I'm not used to standing up a piece of paper like that. Okay, I got to be more careful this time. This is cute too, though. Oh, I was going to tell you about the Route 66. Hey, Jill. So on Route 66, so my daughter gets out there and she says she came to a part where they didn't finish it. And I'm like, what do you mean that didn't finish? And she goes, it just ends and there's nothing there. The highway, you know, they just didn't finish it. And so I said, well, tell me more about what that looked like. And she goes, it's just like, you know, vegetation and stuff. And I said, oh my gosh. Yeah, nope. I said, oh, you know what happened, you guys? I decided I wanted to start there and it didn't give me enough. So let's cut it at this one up here. And so she said, well, there you go. Well, that's special. And so I told her, oh my goodness, I said, that means that over all these years, you know, the road has just been covered. The asphalt was covered and, you know, that's just what can happen. And so have you guys seen any of those shows like, you know, 5 years after people or, you know, something like that? And it shows all these things that happen and things that, you know, without people to manage things just kind of start going back to nature. Okay, you guys, here we go. You know, that's weird that as you cut across there that this part isn't even. That's weird. Let's cut it at our 6 1/4. Okay, this time we're gonna, I don't like that. You know, I'm just gonna trim it down a tiny bit. Because I can do that before I cut the length. Okay, now we gotta cut it. And it's a little more than 9 1/4, I think. Oh, well, okay, this is where I found out I went awry. Let me put that in there. Yep, just a tiny bit more. It's like a 1/16 more. Whatever that is. 9 1/4 and a little more. and 1 mark more. Do you guys ever do that? Do you ever measure? Okay, I'm going to hold this up there first. Yep. Okay, there we go. I might even bump my paper a tiny bit more. I'd rather have to trim the paper off like with an X-Acto knife or something than have it totally messed up. Okay, look at that. Yeah, it's a little bit too long. That's okay. Okay, so we're going to do that one, and then I thought this one would be fun, like on the back. That'll be fun. So we have just a little bit longer, and then after I get the cover on, we'll we can start doing some of the fun stuff inside. So a little more than 6 1/4. Aren't these fun? Look at these. You know, well, think about, you know, what I was saying about the, you know, the roadway just going back to, you know, nature taking it over. Think about what happens, like if any of you have flower beds or your lawn or, you know, gardens or whatever. If you don't do anything to them, think about how they just start going their own way, right? I mean, it doesn't take long. Okay, so, okay, we gotta hurry up. Let's get this on here. All right. You know, I'm just gonna cover this up. It's not gonna show anyway, but whatever. Whatever. Oop, I don't have any coming out. You gotta have the glue coming out so it sticks, right? And don't put a lot on. You don't want tons of it, you know. It'll stick. It's gonna stick on there. I do like to, you know, try to get it more to the corners, but, you know, stay in a little bit because it'll ooze out, right? So you don't need to. And then, yeah, this is just squishy enough that you can get it on there and move it around a tiny bit. I love that. Okay, got it. And then let's do this one. Grab our other cardboard, get it on there, and get them put on. You always measure by making a mark on the paper. Yeah, well, sometimes it's harder to see where the mark is. I usually just use a ruler. If I can't eyeball it, I'm usually using a ruler. I don't know. And my Tim Holtz one is, everybody keeps talking about they've been organizing their stuff. You guys, you have no idea how much I need to organize my space. It's scary. And I've got several things that have gone missing that I really need. I don't know where my good fabric scissors are. I'm sure, you know, they've been picked up in a pile that I took and set away. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff to find. And, you know, you need your stuff. That's why you have it, right? You need the stuff. So I'm going to get that on there. Press it down. Give it a good press. And now we can put these on here. So I'm going to put this on here. Looking that cute. So I think I don't know, should we use that for the cover or should we use this one for the cover? I don't know, what do you think? Which one for the front cover? Well, it doesn't really matter, right? I mean, either way, you're going to see them, right? But my desk looks clean. It's all an illusion. It's a magic trick. Oh my goodness. Hey, Teresa. I didn't see you pop on, did I? Maybe. Oh my goodness. You know, I just get so lost in, you know, comments and what I'm doing. Oh my goodness. Oh, I did. That's an old comment up from way back. Okay. Nancy popped on with us. Okay. All right. So, what do you think? Left or right? Left or right? Give me some hearts for left or just say left. Give me some thumbs up for right or say right. What do you think? You guys must think I'm nutty. I am, kind of. But it's a fun nutty, right? What do you think? What do you think? I got a heart there. Got some hearts coming in. Hearts, hearts, hearts. You guys like that one best? I like that one too. Thumb for another one. Okay. Looks like we got this one. Okay, let's do it. So we're going to put this on here. Now this is going to be a little bit harder to line up. So I think what I'm going to, you know, this is the smaller of the pieces, right? So we made our cover a little bit larger than this. So we're going to put this, we're going to put our glue on this piece, and then we will place this on the cover Okay. So we've got that like that. And now we're going to flip these both like this. Actually, then we're going to see the... Okay, I did not think of that. We almost need... Oh, you know what? I can go back and put some paint or something on it. You could put washi on it around this edge. Now I'm going to have a naked edge. You know, I think though, I'll go back and just add a tiny bit of paint. Wouldn't that be fun? I got some fun colors of paint. So we'll just put that down there, kind of center that on there. And now we'll put this one on, same way. Just get this down. Oh, and that's exactly what I said not to do, and that's why. Because this is the small part. Yeah, I'll just take a tiny bit of paint and brush those edges. Or ink. I could have inked it. I should have done something to it, though. Now it's just naked. Oh, I hope I don't get thrown off for saying that. You need my desk trick. I know, that's true. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit harder to do. And what I'm going to do on this one is I'm going to lay it on here like this. But I'm going to stand it up. I'm going to stand it this way so we can get those even. Like that. So just kind of tap it down. Make sure then our covers are the same. Okay. So there we've got that. Now we can decorate any of those. So it doesn't matter. I mean, both of the ways, the way that we have ours, they both open the same. I mean, whether we open it from this side or we do it from this side, we're pulling that first one open. And there you go. And now you can add all these fun things. You can add some pockets. We've got all of these pieces that we have saved on here that we can make pockets with. Okay, we've got a little yellow over there. Let's make a little pocket right here. So these are about 6 inches, and if you just want one that we can put down, we'll just put this here. So this will kind of pull that yellow over right there. And then you got to make sure you've got that tiny bit. You're still going to have that little bitty amount for your fold. And I mean, that's just a teensy bit. There we go. Make sure you can still see your fold. So now we'll just put this, you know, on 3 sides. You guys know how to do a pocket. I know you know how to do a pocket. We're master pocket builders, right? Hi, Stacy, how are you? So we'll just put that down there. So that gives you a pocket. And let's see. And, you know, you could even use... That is just almost enough. It's just a hint shorter. So you can put those, you can put something for a belly band, you can, you know, cut something, you could do even a little bit of a diagonal. Just go through and you've got all kinds of stuff that you've already got in here. And then we've also got these that we could use for some journal cards, and these are perfect because remember they are just white on the other side, and it actually has some tags with this one. So if you're buying one of these you know, less expensive scrapbook paper pads, thumb through it and see if you don't have something that's got some pages like this, because look, I've already got tags. All I have to do is snip these out and ta-da, we've got a tag, right? So, you know, that's easy. Let me get my other scissors. Hey, Sherry, how are you? So we'll just trim one of these out and we can see what it looks like with a little tag in its pocket. And, you know, you've got a ton of these on here. This one, yeah, this was a great pack. And I have no idea when I got this. What was it called, in case anybody wanted to look for it? Oh, it's from Recollections, and it's called Route 66. Clever. Clever, right? Route 66. How many of you say route, or how many of you say route? Okay. All right, so, and then we could, we could just stick these in here, and then we got these places here. All these places. You guys, it's time for me to finish up. Oh my gosh, let's see. Who was after me? Oh my goodness, oh my god. Oh, it's Christy from Funky Junk Inspiration. Whichever Christy goes first, we get to say the other one. The other Christy is going to be on next. So I was first today, so the other Christy is coming on right now. You guys go back in and just refresh your browser if you're watching in the Crafty Bunch, and if you're not in the Crafty Bunch, go over there and do that, so that the next time all you have to do is refresh your browser, and then you're right in the correct place. You guys, thanks so much for being here. I hope you've enjoyed this, and you'll make one. I hope you will. And if you make one, come on over and join my Artful Adventures Clubhouse. It's a Facebook group, and be sure, and if you do, be sure and agree to the rules, because I don't just let anyone in. I don't want people in there who aren't really people. You know how that goes, right? You guys, thanks for sticking around today, and let's go see Christy. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.